Hey, it's Mike. Thanks for tuning back in. Today's Tuesday. It's been a crazy week personally, and I'm still trying to put out quality content while getting everything else done. Now, some of you might say I don't usually put out quality content anyway, which is fine. But Thursday, I'm on Bench Clear Media on Hobby Think Tank. I'll share that like I usually do. That one is with Mike about ethics in sports cards. I hope you tune into that. And then back on Bench Clear Media on Saturday for Hobby Hotline. That'll be my first time co-hosting Hobby Hotline. That will be with Dr. Jim Beckett, which is really exciting. And so that's at 11 a.m. Saturday. That one's live, which is crazy. Now, speaking of live, I had told you that I was going to do a live going through my channel analytics or channelytics Friday night. But then I remembered that my son is home Friday night and we're going out to a movie and dinner and stuff. So I'm not going to do it Friday night. I'm thinking now probably Sunday night would work for me. I hope it does for you guys as well. Although that's Easter, so maybe not. I don't know. I know I'm free Sunday night, but let me know in comments if you were planning on being there and you can't on Sunday. I want as many of you there as I can get. We'll go through my channel analytics. We'll talk a little baseball. We'll talk whatever you guys want to talk about. My collection. So I did, I don't know, a month ago maybe, an Attic Find Friday on the Al Rosen Mr. Mint find of 1952 Topps. I just recently got a comment from someone named Joe who said that he was good friends with Al Rosen. And so we've been emailing back and forth. He sent me the July 4th, 1986 Sports Collectors Digest advertisement that Al Rosen put in Sports Collectors Digest selling his 1952 Topps find cards. And he told me some really interesting stuff about the whole background. So Joe was part of Mr. Mint's inner circle for 25 years, actually from 1980 to Mr. Mint's death. So I think Mr. Mint died in, I don't know, maybe it was more than 30 years. He was one of the first to see the 1952 Topps haul that Mr. Mint had, which is really cool. He bought 4 of the mantles at $2,000 each, and then he flipped them for a $700 profit quickly. And from what it sounds like to me, Joe regrets not hanging on to some of those. But pretty cool, though. I mean, he must have been thrilled at the time to get a $700 profit, to sell them for $2,700. It sounds like pretty quickly he turned that profit. It's pretty good. Now, would Joe like to have those back now at the current values? Maybe. Joe says that he's one of the first dealers that Marshall Fogel reached out to when he was looking to get into investing in sports cards. The PSA 10 mantle that Marshall Fogel has actually came from Joe's collection, one of those mantles that Joe bought. He advertised it, Joe did, in the November 1988 Sports Collectors Digest, and somebody bought it from him. It changed hands a couple of times. So Joe sold it for $8,000. This was 2 years after. It changed hands 2 times before Fogel paid $121,000 for it. Pretty interesting stuff. I asked Joe what he thinks that PSA 10 would be worth now. Some people speculate as much as $100 million. Joe doesn't think it's that much. He thinks it's about $10 million because there are 3 of them. But if the SGC 9.5 went for $12.6 million, now, of course, this was during the boom, I gotta think it would be worth well over 12.6 now. But maybe Joe's right with 3 of them out there, but they just come up for sale never, essentially. So I wanted to dive into this advertisement that Mr. Mint put out there. I took some screenshots of it and I blew it up as best as I could. It's really tough to do. So in this advertisement, Mr. Mint writes, "I am pleased to announce the acquisition of these fabulous cards. Put away many years ago, these cards were apparently 6-card cello packs, for there are no gum stains on any cards, just 4 sharp corners, pure white borders, and blazing color." Mr. Mint was quite the marketer with words. "This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for people who are building sets or wish to start one. I would like to thank David Espinola, a Wilmington, Mass. Dealer, for contacting Mr. Mint to purchase this longtime collection. In this publication, there are many boasts and claims about paying world record prices for 1952 Topps cards. Why then does Mr. Mint continually turn up these fabulous collections? The answer is quite simple. Nobody pays more for quality cards than Alan Rosen, bar none. Interesting. He was quite the marketer, marketing of himself. So then the middle numbers there, Willie Mays sold for $450, or that was the asking price for the Mays 52 Topps, and then you've got Lemon and Win, $60-65, and then down from there. And the high numbers, which of course are the most rare ones, and go back and watch that video to learn more about it. Highly recommend it. I'll link to it here in the description if you haven't already watched it. The high numbers, Mantle, he was trying to sell for $3,500 at that time. Jackie Robinson, $375. Roy Campanella, $500. Eddie Matthews, $650. The common high numbers were $65 each. He was trying to sell complete runs of numbers 251 to 310, what he called gem mint, which of course, nowadays you have graded cards called gem mints. Those would be the 10s, PSA 10s, SGC 10, and I guess a BGS 9.5, although that's a little unclear now. Trying to sell those for $1,100. Numbers 311 through 407. Gem mint, $12,000 for that run. And then numbers 251 through 407, Gem mint, $12,500. He was advertising, wanting to buy numbers 1 through 250 in gem mint condition for $2,500. So thank you, Joe, for sending this over along with the story. I would love to see, I actually responded back to Joe asking him about the November 88 Sports Collectors Digest ad that he placed on the Mantle, which he sold for $8,000. I'll share that if he does send it back to me. I didn't have time to wait for it, unfortunately. My fault for waiting a day or two after he sent me the original details. What do you think about this? I think this is cool. Anything vintage or big find related is definitely up my alley. If you're new here, I do a lot of sports card content, a lot of baseball cards, Attic Find Fridays every Friday. Click that subscribe button. Really appreciate it. And I'm all over Bench Clear Media this week. People are going to get sick of me over there. Definitely go tune in over there. All right. Thanks very much for watching.